You're just about the most useless hot dang things on the face of the earth, ain't you? Well, maybe not the most useless, but just about it. You ain't nothing but a bunch of danged old manure machines. You ain't even got sense enough to deposit the fertilizer where it does the most good. You wouldn't even think about fertilizing the plants in this here park, what ones of them there is. Hell no, you wouldn't think about doing that. Not as long as you can shit on poor old Stephen F. Austin. They ought to put up a statue of some of them modern politicians. They deserve it. Lyndon Johnson. He deserves it. Or John Conway. Or hell, what about Richard Nixon? If they'd put up a statue of him, I'd climb up on his shoulders and shit on his head myself. But no. Y'all have to shit on poor old Stephen F. Austin, the father of Texas. Oh, now get the hell away from me. Oh, get out of here. I ain't got nothing for you to eat. I ain't no damn pigeon outhouse neither. Yet. You don't go on. Get out of here. Go on or I'll have me a fried pigeon supper tonight. Yeah! That ought to take care of him for a little while. That damn Mary Worth's about as full of shit as them pigeons. Meddling in everybody's business. She ought to get a job or something. Leave them other folks alone. She probably couldn't hold one, though. She'd drive everybody nuts going around hollering splendid all the time. I wonder why nobody just talks in funny papers. They're always hollering. I didn't know there's that dang many exclamation marks in the world. I kind of like it Andy Cap, though. He's a real pistol.
Excuse me. Mind if I sit down?
Well, suit yourself. Still a free country. Almost.
Thank you. I beg your pardon?
Huh? What for?
Did you say something?
No, I just laughed.
Oh. I'm Charlotte Ramsey.
Pleased to meet you.
I didn't get your name.
Bell. D.W. Bell. Folks call me Dub.
Nice meeting you, Mr. Bell.
Same here.
Here, Bertie. Come on. Here's some lunch for you. Come on. Come on.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
What?
I just got rid of them dang things.
You don't like pigeons?
No, ma'am, not much.
Why not?
Because they're dumb and filthy and they remind me of chickens. Only birds I like are hawks, and I only like them because they eat chickens and pigeons.
Do you want me to move to another bench?
Suit yourself. I would appreciate it, though, if you'd throw them breadcrumbs down at your end of the bench.
Why do you hate pigeons?
I don't hate them. I just don't want to socialize with them.
But they're so pretty.
Maybe so. But do you ever think about what goes on behind them little beady eyes?
No.
Nothing, that's what. Only thing a bird thinks about is eating and shit. Defecating. I know all about the birds. When I was a kid, one of my jobs was feeding the chickens. You give them a chance and they'll peck the tar out of you. My stepdaddy thought it was funny as hell. I always thought he was part chicken himself. He had these little waddles on his neck. When he laughed, he sounded like an old dried up thirsty rooster crowing.
But pigeons aren't like chickens, really. They're kind of fat and funny and complacent. And I never heard of them pecking anybody.
Maybe not. That just goes they're little. A 200-pound pigeon would be the most vicious thing on earth. Now get the hell away from me!
Now, that was a horrible thing to do.
What was?
Kicking that pigeon. That's cruel. It wasn't doing anything to you.
Not yet he wasn't. I got him before he got me.
Now, what do you mean, before he got me?
He was going to crap on my shoe, that's what.
But that's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Well, we're all entitled to our own opinions.
You remind me of my grandfather.
I remind you of what?
My grandfather.
Oh. Well, thank you.
After he fell off the windmill, he got real mean, too. He used to sit out on the front porch from morning till night with a .22. Whenever he'd see a cat, he'd try to shoot off its tail.
That's a hell of a pastime. Must have been some nervous cats in the neighborhood.
Well, I don't think it's very funny.
You gotta admit the idea of it's hilarious. A bunch of nervous bobtail cats creeping around.
See, Grandpa wasn't a very good shot. Most of the time, he'd just miss and scare the cat. But sometimes he wouldn't miss. I had this cat named Snow Puff. She was this beautiful fuzzy white cat with blue eyes. I tied a bell round her neck with a pink ribbon so she'd always tinkle when we played hide-and-go-seek in the cantaloupe patch. She used to sneak in the window at night and sleep with me. One day while I was doing the dishes after supper, I heard a shot and a scream. I ran through the living room and out the front door. Grandpa was going toward the cantaloupe patch. He couldn't move very fast because he was still on crutches. When I jumped off the porch, Snow Puff screamed again. She seemed to be screaming, "Charlotte! Charlotte!" I got to her first. She was lying next to a broken cantaloupe. Grandpa missed her tail. I guess he hit her spine because she couldn't move her hind legs. She was covered with blood and dirt, and her blood was mixed with cantaloupe juice on the ground. When I picked her up, she screamed louder and scratched my face. Grandpa told me to put her down, but I wouldn't, so he took her away from me. Smashed her skull with a rock. She stopped screaming then. She jerked once, the bell tinkled, and that was it.
Yeah. You must have hated him for doing that.
Yes, I guess I did for a while. But he was no worse than most people. He's just a farmer who got hurt and started doing cruel, destructive things. Everybody's got that capacity. Remember, you thought it was funny at first.
Yeah, but that's before I knew the whole story. I remind you of him, huh?
In a way.
What way?
You talk like him, for one thing. He was always a rough-talking man. And you look a little like he did before the accident. He was a big man like you. And he was kind in his own way. After he fell and couldn't work anymore, it was different.
Yeah. Yeah, I know just how he felt. Sure I do. That's human nature.
But people should keep being constructive.
That's easy for you to say. You're a young woman. How old are you, 40?
No. Well, almost.
It don't make any difference. My point is, sometimes you can't help doing what you do. I was a roofer for 43 years, and a damn good one, too. I thought I'd keep working till I was 65 and then do some part-time work after that. And one day I got real dizzy. I didn't fall like your granddaddy did, but I might as well have. I went to the doctor, and he told me I had high blood pressure and couldn't work anymore. That was 6 weeks ago. Ever since then, I've been feeling just about the way your granddaddy must have felt. I keep feeling pains. It must have been there before, but I was too busy to feel them. It makes me mad as hell. I don't shoot cats. I just come to the park, read the paper, and kick pigeons. Hell, you're the first person I've talked to in, shoot, I don't know, 3 weeks.
What about your wife?
I'm an old bachelor. Come close to marrying a couple of times, but I never did make it. How about you?
My husband was killed in Vietnam.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was a long time ago. 13 years.
Any kids?
We didn't have time. Well, look at that. It's nearly 1 o'clock. I have to get back to work.
Where do you work?
Southwestern Bell.
You an operator?
Supervisor. Well, it was nice talking with you, Mr. Bell.
Same here, Ms.
Ramsey. Charlotte Ramsey.
Yeah, I remember the Charlotte part. Well, it's been nice.
Yes, it has. Maybe we'll... Mr. Bell, do you come here every day?
Yeah, mostly.
Why don't we meet tomorrow and talk some more?
Well, I don't know. What if something come up?
Well, if it does, it does. But let's plan on meeting tomorrow, okay?
Well, yeah, okay.
I'll bring some sandwiches.
That sounds good. But I got two conditions.
What?
Number one, that you call me Dub. I never liked being called Mr. Bell. That is my stepdaddy's name.
And the second one?
That I don't have to start liking pigeons.
It's a deal. See you tomorrow, Doug.
Yeah. See you tomorrow, Charlotte. Oh, now get the hell away from here. Oh, to hell with it. Go ahead and eat. Just stay away from my shoes.
You have been listening to Stephen F. Austin Memorial Park by Barry Corbin. The players were Sue Berger and the author. Director was Patrick Tovat.
S. Pudd and Sons, makers of fine rolled-up tobacco products since World War I, invites you to lay back, light one up, and enjoy a satisfying show as Dreamo Cigars presents Maxwell Morgan, Crime Cabbie. It's another rain-soaked Tuesday night at the Doom Room, one of those quiet little shanties on the Malibu coastline where a fella can finally rest his eyes from the hot glare of passing headlights. The joint's got a piano bar shaped like a 45, lots of nets draped over the walls, and a big fish tank full of mermaids. Just the right kind of atmosphere for the likes of a bruised and battered Maxwell Morgan.
Max Morgan, come on in. Sit down. Say, you look like you had to eat one too many knuckle burgers.
Give me a double shot of the hard sauce. Hold the wiseacres, Fergus. Life is a tough case. Another two-bit fare nearly closed the book on mine.
Don't you ever pick up no old lady from Joyride to Glendale? Hey, some Hollywood glamour babe out for a swell time in the back seat on some back street.
I gotta say, it's a checkered business, Fergus.
I know you ain't yellow, Mac.
Frick, you ivory mangler.
Yeah, what's it to you?
Play me something low down and dirty, friend. Slide that rye on down the bar. And I'll tell you how I picked up the nicks on this ugly mug. Well, it's been coming down like wet lead slugs since early this afternoon, right? I was cruising Wilshire Boulevard, you know, stopping at every corner for the red light and checking out the latest styles. Looking for a nice, quiet run up to Coldwater. Maybe Mount to the Valley. $1 tip and chicken dinner at the old plantation house. But all of a sudden, this elderly gent with a face like a goat toddles out from under an awning, gives me a hail, and jumps in old Betsy like a scared turkey cobbler.
He must have seen your smiling Bijou through the windshield like you was his guardian angel.
Nope. He's got his head too far inside the 9-star final to give me a peep. I says, okay, Button, where to? And he says, Santa Monica Sanitarium, butch and make it snappy. Which is pretty salty for an old bird, but I hightail it into the sunset, if there was a sunset.
Yeah, I know the layout. The word's out. It's a hideout for fat cats.
Sure. Overweight oil men. Couple of generals who'll drink anything with 3 stars on it. Your local congressman on the run from some Washington widow. I got a regular fare, uses it when he owes too much on his insurance policy.
Oh, I wanted to work in a place like that. Chrome cocktail shakers, swell parade of bonded hooch marching past the cut glass mirrors back in the bar, war reports on the radio, and a stock ticker in the steam room.
I drop the old skeezix off at the front stoop. He tells me, keep your flag down. The rain on the roof and the meter ticking make a nice racket. I'm in no hurry. So I pull out a smoke and read a few jokes in the digest. You know, life in these United States, humor in uniform. Pretty soon the geezer comes back hauling a steamer trunk as big as Union Station. I says, no chance in Hades, brother. He's pushing and shoving at the thing to get it on the back seat. Well, it's as heavy as a stevedore's mother-in-law, but I help him get it in. Then he tells me I should hustle it out to one of them big businessmen's beach clubs down on the highway. Drive around back and unload it by the surface. He gives me a double sawbuck and hot puts it into the shrubbery.
Oh, yeah, I used to 10 bar special. Down to those beach places sometime. Guys in double-breasted Packards, big tuxedo convertibles. Yeah, downtown guys with City Hall written all over their faces like a neon beer sign. That's where they count the votes, all right. Like handfuls of Havanas. The Jeremiah Club.
You called it for me, Fergus. Marble chandeliers and oriental upholstery with the bigwigs out front and a kitchen full of Tijuana tea-heads on the run from the Border Patrol. One of the help was out back on the sea landing when I got there, scraping fish heads in the rain and singing some song about a tropical nightmare. Look out, what?
He means that's a Bing Crosby song, huh? Tropical Nightmare?
Yeah? Well, that's just what this Latin loafer turned out to be. I get out of the cab quick like always, and he's at me like a killer shark with a toothache. I'm as good as got him. Under control. When I guess I slipped on a fish head and my skull connects with a hard, flat thing I think is the wet asphalt pavement of the parking lot, but turns out to be a bolt of greasy lightning that knocks me off a high wall into a deep, wet place. It covers me up tight under a blue-black blanket of blankness.
We'll return for Act 2 of Maxwell Morgan, Crime Cabbie. After this short word for Dreamo Cigars, from famous surrealist bandleader Salvador Cugat.
Man, stop envying those big black Cuban cigars that make your favorite smoke look like a dead man's finger. Now, Drimo cigars, the first choice of men with a nickel to spend, are proud to introduce Drimo Negros. A surprisingly big cigar, made bigger with plenty of rich, dark, heavily veined Cuban wrapper, moist, meaty filler, and attractive pre-drilled tip that the ladies love. So look for 3 Super Havana straight styles: Primo, Perfecto, and El Maximo. For men with more on their minds than just action. Drimo Negros, just what you've been wishing you could have. Drimo's a psychologically tested product of S. Pudd & Sons, Russellville, Kentucky. Yeah, it's about an hour before closing time at the Doom Room. Rick's still at the piano, chasing the blues, shooting them down dead like damp rats in the rain. Like most good barkeeps, Fergus mixes a mean ear with a clean glass. He catches Maxwell Morgan coming up for the 3rd time from a trip to the bottom of the locker, hauls him in to dry out on the painful shores of memory.
I was a beach tuna, Fergus. Food for the waves. The Bay City coppers fished me out from under the pier. Captain Brogan and his blue boys took me back to fry slow, hot grill.
All right, Morgan, you're not flying anywhere. Stand up. Sit down.
Ouch.
This time your neck's in a noose, and no noose is good enough for you, Hawk Hustler.
Come on, Brogan. I feel like I just chugged a fifth of bilge water and washed it down with damp sand. Let me get out of this wet gabardine and into a hot toddy.
Shut up. Oh! Your license is no good in my town, and you know it, wise guy.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't pick anybody up.
Oh, just out making a door-to-door survey, hauling garbage, or did you rent yourself out for a meat wagon?
I don't know what you're getting at.
Come off it, Morgan. What about the stiff in the trunk?
Which one?
What do you mean? You mean there was 2 stiffs?
No, 2 trunks. I had a big steamer jammed in the back seat.
Well, 10 little woodchucks must have come and carried it off in the night, boyo. I'm talking about an elderly medical type with a pre-drilled hole right where his stick pin ought to be, stuffed into the trunk of your hack like a pearl onion in a martini olive.
Wow. That was too much metaphor for me, Fergus.
Not me, Max. Me neither, man. Say, who was he?
Brogan took me down to take a look. It was the old squab from the sanitarium, all right. On a slab of ice with a ticket on his toe. Dr. Willard Jerome.
Hey, sounds like a Houdini stunt to me, Max. How'd he do it?
Now, the answer to that one is worth a handful of shiny silver ducats to the fat man in the second balcony. Brogan didn't have it either. He had my hack locked up tighter than a tick, but he couldn't tack a ticket on me. I walk out of that station house into a cold, thick fog that wraps me up like a mummy's purse. And I figure what I need is anything that doesn't feel like a tide pool at twilight. I got ooze in my shoes. My hat's holding onto my noggin like a seal pup on a sharp rock. What I needed was a warm heart, a clean tie, and a couple of car keys to jingle together. And I knew where I could get 'em. Mr. Easy.
On 14th Street? Past the post office? Sure. I used to work in a plush joint like that once. Yeah. Boogie woogie upstairs, bingo upstairs, and rooms by the hour in the back.
Cabbies and coppers keep those kinds of houses humming. It's a case of nobody knowing which hand is scratching whose back. And my back, it needed scratching in the worst way.
For sick cheaters. Say, how come I only see you after they use your map to wipe off the bar? Jeez, honey, let me get that mouth of yours a fresh steak.
You can turn up the Turkish bath, baby. I got a itch like a whole Swiss picnic full of chiggers.
You know me, Maxie. There's always a cup of jamoke smoking on the back burner for you. How's about I kiss your cares away, honey?
Do your worst, kid. Everybody else has. Yeah. That's a hell of a name for a babe like that. Mr. Easy. Fits her like a two-piece bathing suit does on Captain Marvel. Looks good on a business card, though.
So she gave you the business, huh, Max?
Well, she started to, all right, but we were still working out the terms when headlines grabbed at my eyeballs from out of the Daily News draped over the bedside table. I was out of her coupe and into her convertible before she had a chance to change into fresh lipstick. Down on 101, rain was beating up the highway like a gang of strikebusters. Mud and rocks were slipping out to sea like giant sponges full of palm trees.
Hey, let me buy you one more, Max. Now, if I've still got a tail in your action, you was on your way back to the Jeremiah Club, full of the smarts.
I had a hunch hotter than a $10 smoker. Figured if I could trace that missing steamer trunk, I'd crack the case and get Captain Grogan out of my wild roots for good. The beach club looks as empty as a teetotaler at a beer bust. But some sap always leaves a window sprung somewhere, and it doesn't take me long to find out which one. Inside, the place is under wraps, shrouds draped over the armchairs. There's signs of a struggle and a puddle of ketchup-colored stuff on the rug. That was when I knew I toted a live one out of the phony sanitarium in a suitcase, and somebody had let him out at the beach club.
Go on, you're breathing too hard. This Dr. Jerome, he smuggled a patient out in a trunk?
Not a patient, that's where the headline came in. Dr. Jerome read it too. Overnight revolution in Pina Colada. It seemed the little rats came out to play because the big cheese had gone away. The Generalissimo was on the lam, see, after pushing over a couple of starlets every night for a month at Earl Carroll's. Then I see the big steamer wide open in the billiard room.
Oh, I get it. You mean the general was going to jump at dawn, right?
Solid, Fergus, homeward bound. Except somebody canceled his subscription to Lifetime and Downbeat. I found El Jefe Maximo in his nightshirt laid out on a snooker table. The little fish sticker who dropped me in the bay must have been hiding in a side pocket when Doc Jerome opened the trunk up to let his client out for air. My guess is Pancho snookered them both in and hopped a banana boat home to Pina Colada before Grogan fished me out of the wash.
That makes the good neighbor policy look like a bad case of Montezuma's revenge.
Well, politics never was my business, pal. They just pat you on the back to find the spot to shove the shit.
Oh, Mac.
I'm sticking to my own racket. Old Betsy, she takes everybody for a ride but me.
You've been on the road with Maxwell Morgan, crime cabbie. He's off duty now, but you can be a fare again next time Max pulls down your street, looking for business and finding trouble around every corner. And remember, friends, to feel good, to feel confident, to feel like you belong, smoke Dreamos. They qualify. Broadcast, Patrick Tabat was heard as Fergus, Sue Berger as Mr. Easy, and Philip Austin as Captain Grogan, Salvador Cugat, and the announcer. The music was arranged and performed by Rich Parker. Maxwell Morgan himself was written and played by David Osmond. This is yours very truly, Ed Edmonds speaking.
And now, The Grand Canal by James Shepherd.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. 1.
Renee? Renee?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Renee, open the door! I know you're there! Please!
No persistence. No drive. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? A blister. It's a small one. From counting. 5, 6, 7, 8. A sign of success. 9, 10. Let's see. Total. He's out. Not in. Went home. Gone. It's been a long night. I'm tired. Sore. From standing. My throat hurts. My eyes ache. I need to rest. Sleep. Go ahead. Ring. Ring all you like. Won't do any good. I'm a patient man. I can wait. I need a morning celebration. A party. Hat. Balloon. Food. None. Drink. None. Music. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, that nobody can deny, that nobody can...
Renee? Renee? Is it in?
I didn't see.
There's a radio.
Let's see. Try again.
Renee? Let's go.
I want to stay. He got it locked
From the outside?
from the inside. Nene, I'm not going to leave.
Renee?
We're prepared to stay. Nene?
Go away.
Nene?
He's not here.
Out?
Visiting relatives to the south.
Is he coming back?
He didn't say. Want to leave a message?
That's it.
Yes.
Write it down on paper.
We want to see.
Is that the message?
That part of it.
Slip it under the door.
There's more.
I'll see he gets it.
We have more.
Goodbye.
Goodbye?
Good day.
Nene?
What now?
You lied to us!
What of it?
We'd like to talk to you.
Go away.
We have a proposition. That is, whatever it costs.
Today is our anniversary.
I know you don't do this, but
The day is special. It's important.
if you could see your way clear,
It means so much to us.
if you could spare some
It
time,
wouldn't take long. Whatever you can spare.
yeah, whatever you can
It
spare,
means so much.
I'll make it worth your
We
while.
were here before.
Just name your
On
price.
our honeymoon.
It means a lot to us.
I remember how gentle it was. The beauty of the moment.
It means a lot to us.
The serenity, Monet. The peace.
If you could spare some time,
We would appreciate it.
please, Monet.
Please. Monet?
All right. Come back tonight. I'll work you in.
Not tonight.
Today. It must be today.
I don't work in the
I
day.
can't wait for the night.
Come back tonight.
Oh, we can make arrangements.
There's nothing to be made.
Monet, open the door and let's talk.
Go away. I have to rest.
Monet, just a few hours.
I don't work in the sun. The stench.
What?
The smell from the sun.
Monet, please.
It bakes the surface. It isn't safe. It eats holes. We'll sink. Drown, for sure.
Let's discuss this.
Can't you smell it? The stink? It gets worse each day. The day smells like the inside of a camel's mouth. The night, like jasmine. Come back tonight.
Monet, make an exception. We love the way you sing.
The way you pour the wine.
The way you make it glide over the surface like glass.
Please, Monet.
We're in love. Breathe.
Go someplace else.
You know there isn't any.
I can't help you. Go away.
Please, Monet. Monet. Reconsider. I don't know what to do.
We'll think of something.
Our anniversary.
Now there's persistence. Drive. If I could just close my eyes for a few minutes, then I'll pick up a bit and go to bed. Just for a few moments. Huh? What now?
Monet,
Go away.
just a few minutes of your time.
No.
Please, it won't take long.
I said no. Let me be.
Monet,
Go away.
just a few minutes.
You have been listening to The Grand Canal by James Shepard. The players included Sue Berger, Barry Corbin, Meredith Ludwig, David Ostman, and Patrick Tovat. The director was Paul Vangelisti. And now, Card Play Number 3 by Patrick Tovat.
Welcome to Card Play Number 3. I'm shuffling and dealing out all the cards clockwise to the 5 players seated around this table. There are 74 cards in the deck, providing the lines and directions the players will perform. The player dealt the music card will drop from the deal and prepare to provide music for this performance. I should remind you that the tone of this piece is brisk. Are we ready?
Oh, not quite. Wait a minute. Give me some.
All right. In a manner of speaking.
Okay.
Let's begin.
My first question is, why only 2?
It pays to advertise. If you'd listen to me, we'd have the gross, double the net, and not turn a hand.
As opposed to the whole field, selected clusters reorganized into maps.
But suppose they do cut off the thing there. What good will that do?
Take it, don't wait for it to be handed to you. What's the matter with you? Stiffen up, get tough, play ball.
I intended this evening to be a celebration. What happened?
You are probably not the first eager artist who's entered here recently, looking for an opportunity, looking for a future.
Did you close the door or did it leave by itself?
Don't get behind all that bad shit. Stay clean, stay relaxed. Blow up now, and we'll end up dead.
Back off.
Pay attention, sit up straight. When do you suppose your dad'll be home?
Hello, this is Margaret. Is your dad there? Let me speak to him, please. He's coming to the phone. He's not coming. When did he leave? Are you sure? No, that's okay. No, goodbye.
Nothing's ever quite the same.
Real surprised.
Well, of course, you've heard it all before.
Can you pick it up? No? Heavy, isn't it? Margaret, remember Margaret used to have one just like it.
Ruby throat, ermine coat, and positive motion of pleasure. Give it 20 years, fella. Do yourself a favor.
I can take it or leave it.
Don't bother to move them. Just close it.
Okay, back up. Put yourself into it. Put yourself on the line. Put yourself in my shoes.
Please yourselves, folks. Please your mind, please your body. Please be still, please.
Power only knows self.
I doubt if we've seen the end of this. Mumbo jumbo, mumbo jumbo.
Older, certainly wiser. God damn, we ought to be. We paid enough dues.
Older, slower, and mean.
A medium feeling, hot, cold.
Look at the picture again. You're not seeing it well.
Starting again, basically the concept is overlord, serf.
Same old thing, same old painful thing.
Back off.
Look at the picture again. You're not seeing it well.
Without the Amatol? How would we have known? Who could possibly know?
Am I being deliberately ignored?
If one of us doesn't break it, one of them would.
For 3 days, reliable sources close to the hunter report the capital city in complete...
At this stage of the game, who knows?
Get away from it or you'll end up dead. It's no good for you.
Made out of each other.
As opposed to the whole field, selected clusters reorganized into maps.
At this stage of the game, who knows?
Adios.
Real surprise.
My mother used to play one of those things.
Barons in the ascendant, free-born yeomanry, a shrinking minority, more and more dependent, salaries, benefits, pensions, and loans, a foundation in sand.
Images of disappearance, memories of void.
You'd have thought she was gonna die. Black face, plain rage.
She died, you know.
At this stage of the game, who knows?
Always just let it go on until it runs down by itself.
Medium feeling, hot, cold.
Everybody needs a visual examination.
Well, stay awake at least. At least he's only got a few more.
A subtle, soft cell approach, patterned after the feminine hygiene campaigns. Cell clean.
Mildly critical of Nazism, creating a basis for fascism, change a few details, more flag displays, public executions, martial ceremonies, all the trimmings. A few midnight burnings, the real thing. Not these pitiful charades, then shape. Impose. Shape.
Every word a mystery, every argument a labyrinth.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure.
Nothing's ever quite the same.
Yeah, I can take it or leave it.
Of course, you've heard it before.
How do I get this stuff out of here?
My first question is, why only 2?
I haven't seen you in years.
She died, you know.
Delighted to be here, not particularly.
Better yet, go get her.
Suppose it had never been built. Suppose you don't help.
Please, be very kind to him.
You've made your bed, now lie in it.
Not even knowing, will you condition us otherwise? Here is the first of this series. Who are we here? Why don't know? Because the principle is not well illustrated. Let's start again.
He lamented what he described as naked corruption. Nobody cared. He posed as a priest. They looked at him and let him rant on. He tore off his robes and wandered through Westwood crying, "Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Here comes Jesus. Look on it, you son of a bitch. He'll get you, and I'll change you." And they built him a mission where derelicts prospered. Later he sold out and moved to Washington, D.C.
My mother used to play one of those things.
Everything is rounder than real.
Do us a favor.
Back off.
Everybody needs a visual examination.
You've made your bed, now lie in it.
Same old thing, same old painful thing.
It isn't healthy to stay preoccupied with death.
Keep your chin up, your nose clean. You'll do all right.
At this stage of the game, who knows?
Older, slower, meaner.
Better stay with it. Grit your teeth and hang on. Jesus, you're easily distracted.
Finally lost interest. And how's the family?
I just wanted to make sure.
Adios.
I can take it or leave it.
Put, you've heard it before.
Well, delighted to be here, but not particularly.
Adios.
Only you didn't see him. Bare-ass naked in the living room. Telling off Mrs. Hanson either.
Of course, you've heard it before.
Stay awake at least. He's only got a few more.
Real surprise.
How, do I get this stuff out of here?
Well, I haven't seen you in years.
Everything rounder than real.
Well, suppose it's never been built. Suppose you don't help. Well, best wishes for a beautiful evening. Well, I intended this evening to be a celebration. What happened?
You have been listening to Card Play Number 3 by Patrick Tobin.